then inspect it and realize, oh, this is homemade. This is a homemade bullet.
Yeah, look at the crypts.
Yeah, like it's such a weird thing to do. We never see people pick up bullets after they're shot at and inspect the bullet. And it's not crazy that they would have found another bullet.
Wait. You mean the bullet isn't like the casings of the bullet?
Sorry, the casing, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I was going to say, obviously, that's not the bullet that came off the back.
He realizes that the bullet is made by somebody, and somebody in this group.
Yeah, and I was saying
that seems weird that he would make that connection.
Yeah, how do you deduct that? Like, how do you think, look at the crypts on this, look at this. I'm like, how do you, I know we don't know enough about Negan's past, but, I can't tell what a homemade, I never touched a bullet in my entire life. But I know what a brand new bullet looks like, and the one that's just fired. Could I really tell if that's homemade or not?
Why would you even pay it any mind? Like you don't look at the bullet. Go after the person who shot you. Like that's the person you want to go after. And
someone already neutralized her and has her. So that's fine. But the other point I want to make too as well is that like the casing. I mean, it's just the casing. Wouldn't you be? No. It's how can you tell if the bullet is homemade by looking at the casing and not the actual bullet?
See, I don't know enough about bullets, but I think just the amount of detail that he spent on looking at that bullet casing,
it's too easy.
Bullet,
all this is too much. All this is too easy,
and that he kills somebody else, wanting to know where this bullet came from, and I guess it's because what's her name,
Denise or a rat.
No, the woman who tried to...
Oh, I mean Olivia.
Rosita. Oh, Rosita. I guess it's because Rosita said she made it. When he's like, who made this? And she's like, I made it.
I guess he has the people skills to tell that she's lying.
If she had just said, like, what do you mean, who made it? Like, it's a bullet. And be like, no, this was homemade. And it's like, well, I just took a gun and I shot it.
You could still... You could still say that dumb. But he could still say that somebody made it. They could still say...
Yeah, somebody made every bullet in the world, but...
No, somebody was just like homemade, like it was reused.
Yeah. Like, it could have been, but if she played stupid and said she has no idea what he's talking about, but the fact that she said she made it, he knows he's lying, but now he also knows she's trying to cover for somebody. Why would you say, I made the bullet if you just found a gun? Let's say you just found a gun, there were bullets, you didn't care, the bullets are in there, you're going to use that to shoot Negan. Then he thinks, hey, this bullet's homemade. At that point, you just say, I don't know what you're talking about. I found a gun, and I'm trying to shoot you with it.
Matthew, you had to make it easy. That's all it is.
All right.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
It's just, it's too detailed. He's too...
What's too detailed? Oh, you mean it's too easy that he found out that way? Not because it's actually detailed. The thing is that there's a lack of details for him to know everything.
Yeah.
I mean, or else he should be detective.
Maybe if we find that out that he used to be a detective,
no, he was a gym teacher. We know that already.
Fine. Because he's not getting the answer he wants to know who made the bullet, and Rosita's just not fessing up to it. He has one of the saviors, a rat, kill a random person. Since nobody is fessing up to it, like I already said, I'm reading over my same lines. They kill Olivia.
Right.
Not. I breathed a huge sigh of relief because when Olivia got shot, I was like, I can live with that.
Yeah, it's sad, but you could buy into the innocence, obviously, right?
And buy into that she shot a C tier character, somebody who I struggled to know the name of, who I didn't like seeing on screen.
It had to be someone with enough screen time. If they shot Father Gabriel, like, oh,
yes,
that's something like which is just a shame because you start liking him.
Man, that would have been so much better because he had such a good back and forth with Rosita.
Exactly, yeah,
that would have made it.
They should have heard me. They should be listening to our podcast.
Yeah, that would have connected everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Rosita got,
and now we're just gonna mix up Olivia and Denise because they both died similarly. Like Denise got the arrow through the eye, and now Olivia got shot through the eye. And like, are you trying to make us mix them up? Like, what are you trying to say there? That's ridiculous.
Well, she got it like in her forehead.
No, she got it under her eye. I remember.
Oh, under her eye. Okay.
Right under her eye.
So under her eye, but not in her eye.
But it was the same side.
Yeah, but if she got it in her eye, she'd survive. And Carl can survive.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. They had to say like, oh no, it's got to be more of the wound where you could actually penetrate the cerebral area,
just crush her cheekbones.
Yeah, exactly. That was just ridiculous. That was just why are they trying to put like Olivia and Denise on the same boat? Like it's and we know what it is. We know what they're saying. We know exactly because of their body type. You want to mix them up, but it doesn't make any sense for them to do it. It's ridiculous.
I don't think that they intended any of it.
Oh, you don't think they intended any of it?
Not at all. No.
I don't know. We'll see. Whatever.
Body type. Everybody has the same body type Like all these other people have the same body.
But
type.
they're killing them off, is what I'm saying too. It's like
Yeah,
you
they're
guys aren't
killing them
worthy.
off.
You know what I mean?
But it's like
Fat Joey just died earlier.
I
It's
thought,
a pretty big pattern.
I thought you were kidding before when you were comparing these people. But I mean, if you shoot Daryl, Aaron, and
we're going through an A-list cast there.
no, but yeah, you shoot
Not
Daryl, Aaron, and let's say and
his
Father,
partner?
let's say Father Gabriel. Are you
Okay.
going to be like, oh, like we were always mixing them up? They have the same body type.
No,
They're skinny.
no, but this is like clearly because I feel like it's because they had callbacks, like she mentioned Denise next to Olivia with the lemonade thing,
All right.
and then she addressed the fact that the way she was, and then and they get shot in this, they die from the same wound. You know what I mean?
I guess for people who have face blindness, it might be confusing.
And then if you want to make it more common, like Fat Joey was, it was a head wound too. So it's like, why are they making it so similar? It's so, I don't know. It's too coincidental is what I'm saying. But the other thing is, that's what it was. It's just like, with that innocence dying. I mean, like I obviously bought into that, poor girl, it's, though, it wasn't an A-list character. It was, of course, we're revolving around, like you said, we're revolving around death and just obviously it will be death that, that leads to a climax, and it's, this is who they choose.
All right. So Spencer's there. He's holding his guts in his hands. He's on his knees. He's dying. He has to see all this going on around him.
Did he? Wasn't he already dead?
He's dying.
No, he's dead.
He's dying.
Dead.
Negan, he's dying.
Matthew, he's dead. We don't see him again after he gets
He's
stabbed.
dying. He's slowly dying. We've seen this. We see it happen. Don't
Not
interrupt.
after-
I'm trying to
not
get through this. Negan explains that his actions. Negan explains his actions to Rick and tells him to leave, but he still wants to know who made the bullet. Tara confesses to it, but then Eugene owns up to it. Negan says he's going to take his bullet maker, and that whatever he scavenged isn't nearly enough after what went down here today. And then Rick shoots Spencer in the head because he reanimated as a walker. And
I like the kitchen line. I don't remember what it was exactly. It was more like, I gotta admit, Rick, your kitchen's a mess, and that's his exit line.
that's what's on his mind.
Yeah.
It's like as if everything else wasn't
And
terrible
I thought
enough.
at first it's like, oh, is he really addressing his actual kitchen? Because he was just in there, but no, obviously not. I'm kidding, but it's just to say, like,
at some point Rick might have to clean that kitchen up, and even if he does it in a month from now, he's still going to think back, like, Negan did this, and I'm cleaning up after his mess now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then someone's got to put that pool table away.
Yeah.
It's true. Who's going to clean? Like, when you have, remember we had like the last season, we had like Alexandria was overwhelmed by walkers and the wolves and everything. It's like, who cleaned that up after 3 months? Everybody cleaned up. They had to scrub the streets with soda water and to get the blood off and everything.
That's difficult. I mean, we saw some of the Alexandrians moving bodies around, but I don't know who really got the real nitty gritty of it and scrubbed the streets.
Scrubbed it. Yeah.
So now Rick is sitting after everything has calmed down. Rick is sitting in the cell room, the jail cell. Is this the one that Morgan was building?
Yeah, it is.
He really made it into quite a cell.
I really feel like it's not what he made it into. It's what the show decided to be like, okay, we'll use this room.
Yeah, it's like originally it just looked like a couple of bricks and
it
a
looked
weird
like,
bar.
what I remember too is like the room. I mean, looked like, it was like, like that room that looks like the house is under renovation.
Yeah.
You have like, those beams coming down or soming.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Just like the ribs of the house.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, now it's a like Stonehenge cell.
Yeah. It's a pretty good prison. And Rick is there staring at the note with the drawing of the middle finger, and what did it say again? Even if congratulations, even though you
win, you may have won, but you
still
lost. Still lose. And next to his hatchet or his axe.
Yeah. So he's sitting down and just staring at those
That's
two
our
things.
throwback to our first episode.
Yeah.
These two items is what he needs next, what he's pondering about. Like, these are the turning points, getting the axe in the first episode.
And this note. How did these connect? And Michonne comes in.
He clearly doesn't have Negan's deducting skills to figure out how that was a homemade bullet.
Picture weapon. Michonne walks in, says that she had to go her way, but that when she found it, she realized she didn't want it.
I would have been so mad at Michonne at this point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she didn't want it to just be her way. She wanted it to be our way. She says they are severely outnumbered, but it doesn't change the way she feels. So basically, she's saying the same thing, kind of like the same thing Aaron was saying, that their hearts are still beating, except that because of that, they have to fight. So she takes it like a step further. They're still alive. Their hearts are still beating.
But you got to
so
take action.
we got to take advantage of that.
Exactly.
Make use of our time here and fight.
What I really liked about this though is the fact that like, okay, so obviously we just trolled on the prison cell, but to say like the fact that Rick is actually for some reason is in the prison cell, looking at with the note and the hatchet, and it's just showing that he's kneeled down, showing that he's submissive and he's in a prison cell, which is what it's like to be under Negan's regime, and then Michonne's the one to get him up, make out with him and get him out of that cell. And that's exactly what's happening. Yeah. So it lingers with what they're going to do, basically.
There you go. Yeah, it has that. That's a bit of hope because he's also looking at that paper while he's submissive in the jail cell.
Right.
You still lose. He's looking at that sheet of paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he has no weapons to his name other than his little hatchet that even Negan didn't want. That he had a chance to kill Negan with.
Yeah.
But couldn't.
Yeah, that's probably even what it is. Maybe they. You see, I don't see why. Like every article you see there. See, we come up with this now, but every article I've read so far online did not figure that could have easily been a throwback to the first episode. Just saying, like you may win, but you still lose, and that hatchet is the reason he probably could have won by killing Negan. And, you couldn't manage to.
Well, that hatchet represents quite a bit too, because it represents.
It's not really his anymore, right?
Yeah, it's not really his, and he almost had to cut his son's arm off with it.
Not some good Muju there.
No, he's I wish he had used it to kill the guy in charge of the
Terminus?
Yeah.
Oh, he used a machete.
Yeah, but I wish he used the hatchet.
But he did kill a guy at the prison in season 3. No, that was a machete. That was a
machete as well. Yeah.
Damn, so it's kind of like that whole. It's kind of like that whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. He killed more people with a sledgehammer than the actual chainsaw.
Yeah. I'd love. Have they used the chainsaw in Walking Dead yet?
No, I have not seen a single chainsaw.
I guess you don't want to waste the gas.
Yeah. But what if it's electric? Do you have electricity in Alexandria?
Wow. You're very limited.
A giant extension cord going up after people chasing everybody. No, well, do you have things do you have cars operating on gas? Do you have fuel somewhere?
Yeah, but that's why you don't want to use the fuel for a chainsaw.
Yeah, but what would you use the chainsaw? Okay, outside murdering people, what else would you use the chainsaw? To cut trees? Yeah. I guess mow down other things?
You've got a lot of... Trees are a huge thing.
But I think that's the reason why it is made. But I'm saying, like, in the post-apocalypse, why else would you use it?
To cut trees.
Okay. So we're gonna say, okay, we're good. Okay, it's fine.
Unless you have Reg with your steel walls,
it's
you got to build walls
with
wood.
Because the reason what I'm trying to say is, underlying, obviously, a machete and a hatchet are very practical. To hack on walkers, to get through bushes, to maybe you want to cut something. A chainsaw is really inconvenient to bring with you to make a common use.
Yeah.
So maybe they will at some point. I don't know.
Maybe. It's not over. When they really jump the shark, it's like, okay, we'll have Rick and everyone go after it with chainsaws.
You brought up sharks, now you're going to bring up Sharknado? Because that's how they kill sharks in Sharknado.
No, I was not going there.
Okay, good.
A very common phrase, jump the shark.
I know that. Why
don't I just talk about Sharknado 3? I'll just jump into that.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
It'll be another episode.
Never.
Good call.
Maggie sees Rick and the group come to the gates at the hilltop. She says... he now says that he's ready now. Daryl and Rick reunite,
and that kind of that line pissed me off in a way too.
Yeah,
because in the end of season 1, Maggie was delirious, like, okay, we gotta go fight him. We gotta go. It's like, that's not the right answer. Right after what just happened, Rick
wasn't.
Yeah, and Rick goes, no, like, we can't now. We don't have an army, and that's basically saying that, like, okay, no, we're not ready yet, but I'm open. Like, you're open to it, but you will do it when the time comes.
Yeah,
and then he goes, I didn't listen. What do you mean you didn't listen? What if you did listen and took it to heart? You're going to try to fight the whole time. You would have died already. So, like, that kind of just broke down his credibility altogether.
It did.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that line is bad. It was just like, you don't go, you were right. It's like he could just say, it's time. It's time to fight him. That's what he should have said. I'm like, oh, I was wrong. I didn't see him. Of course you saw it.
Yeah, you were wrong. You were a bad leader, Rick.
Because Spencer should have took over.
He should have. Now, the thing that upset me is that this whole time I was really hoping that Rick had a plan.
Me too. Yeah, we said it, right?
In Rick's head, he had a plan, and he just wasn't telling anybody about it. He wanted people to play along.
Me too, yeah.
But I think it was pretty obvious in this scene, in this episode especially, that he never had a plan. That his plan was Because we saw him in the church, and he told everybody, I don't have a plan. Negan is in charge now. Even if we waited a couple of years, it's still not worth it. We can't fight them. They're too powerful. This is how we live now.
Which makes sense.
And I thought that was a speech he gives everybody to fool them all, and then he was really coming up with a plan.
Yeah, I
but
think
he never